What in the world is going on here?
In the village of Umudim, there lived a woman named Ajuju. Nobody ever forgot Ajuju once they saw her, because her looks alone could make you laugh, cry, or even run, depending on your mood. She was slim with medium dark brown skin that glowed when she stood under the sun. Her eyes bulged so much, villagers joked she was the first human to have natural binoculars. Her mouth was huge, with lips so big and protruding that when she pouted, it looked like she was about to kiss the entire community square. And her nose was long and pointed, sharp enough that people teased she could use it to break palm kernels or poke holes in calabashes. Her hair was twisted into short, rough braids that dangled around her face, and she loved to decorate herself with bright beads on her neck and wrists and big round earrings that swung like the village bell whenever she walked. But despite all these unusual looks, Ajuju carried herself like a queen. Her wrappers were always colourful and tightly tied, showing off her slim frame. She walked with confidence, hips swaying as if she was the prettiest woman alive. Yet, what made her truly unforgettable was not her appearance. It was her dangerous wit. One evening at the village square, the young men were boasting. "I am the strongest wrestler here," bragged Okafor. "I am the richest farmer," Chinedu shouted. "And I," Emeka added proudly, "I can charm any woman in this village." Ajuju sat nearby, chewing roasted corn, her big lips smacking loudly. Suddenly, Chinedu spotted her and burst into laughter. "Look at Ajuju! With those eyes, she can see tomorrow before it comes." The men roared with laughter. Emeka joined in, adding, "What? And with that nose, she doesn't need a spear. She can fight in battles with just her face." Even Okafor laughed so hard he rolled on the ground. Ajuju slowly stood up, adjusted her wrapper, and said with a calm but sharp voice, "Laugh, laugh well. But by tomorrow morning, you will all understand why they call me ugly, but dangerous." That night, strange things happened. Chinedu woke up to find all his goats tied neatly in a line outside his hut, each goat wearing one of his shirts. Okafor discovered his yam barn had been rearranged, with his yams spelling out, "Ugly but dangerous." Emeka, the ladies' man, woke up bald, completely hairless, like a newborn baby. By sunrise, the men were humbled. At the square, they greeted her respectfully. "Good morning, Madam Beauty." "Ah, Ajuju, the jewel of Umudim." "And Ajuju," she smirked, her huge lips curving into a proud smile, her bulging eyes scanning them like an owl in daylight. From that day, nobody dared laugh at her again. The village agreed on one truth. Ajuju may not be beautiful to the eyes, but she is dangerously unforgettable. Years passed, and Ajuju's reputation grew. She became known not just as ugly but dangerous, but as the woman who always had the last laugh. She was clever in her trading, kind to the poor, and had a heart that forgave easily, even those who once mocked her. If a widow needed firewood, Ajuju carried it. If a child cried of hunger, Ajuju would share her last roasted corn. And if quarrels broke out in the square, it was her sharp tongue that calmed everyone, sometimes through wisdom, sometimes through mockery that left both sides laughing instead of fighting. One market day, a stranger arrived from the city. His name was Obinna. He was tall, handsome, well-dressed in fine lace, and spoke with the confidence of a man who had seen the wider world. The market women fluttered around him like moths to a flame. But Obinna's eyes landed on Ajuju. So, not because of her looks, no. In truth, her bulging eyes, giant lips, and pointed nose made him blink twice in surprise. But it was the way she laughed boldly while haggling with a stubborn trader, the way she gave part of her earnings to a beggar without hesitation, and the way she carried herself with pride as if she were the most beautiful woman in the world. That day, he watched her longer than he intended. When Obinna finally introduced himself, the other villagers whispered, "Surely he only wants to mock her." Or maybe he lost his way in the city and can't see well again. But no, Obinna kept returning day after day. He sat with her under the mango tree, listening to her witty jokes. He walked with her to the stream, carrying her water pot. Soon the whispers grew louder. Is this city man truly in love with our Ajuju? One evening, Obinna stood before the entire village and declared, "Beauty fades, but character is everlasting. And in Ajuju, I have found a woman whose spirit shines brighter than gold. She will be my wife." The villagers gasped. Some laughed nervously. Others rubbed their eyes as if they had misheard. But when they saw the certainty in his eyes and the joy on Ajuju's lips, they knew it was no joke. When the wedding day finally arrived, the whole of Umudim gathered. Nobody wanted to miss what they were calling the greatest miracle since Moses parted the Red Sea. The handsome city boy, Obinna, stood tall in his fine lace agbada, beads around his neck, and shoes that shone like mirrors. Beside him was Ajuju, her wrappers brighter than the rainbow, her huge earrings swinging wildly, her bulging eyes scanning the crowd like a town crier searching for gossip. Her lips, freshly oiled with palm kernel cream, looked so glossy that one villager whispered, "Chai, if she blows one kiss, half of us will drown." The drummers beat hard, the flutist whistled, and the singers shouted, "Obinna and Ajuju, love sweeter than palm wine." But the villagers, they couldn't believe their eyes. Mama Neka fainted on the spot, fanning herself with a torn wrapper as she mumbled, "Ugly but dangerous don't turn ugly but married. Chineki." Okafor, the wrestler who once mocked her nose, staggered backward and shouted, "Somebody hold me! If Ajuju fit marry city boy, then goat fit also marry lion." Emeka, the village lady's man who lost all his hair in Ajuju's prank years ago, collapsed in slow motion. "Ah, my bald head has finally seen disgrace." Even the village chief almost dropped his staff of office. He rubbed his eyes and muttered, "Obinna, are you under jazz? Or is it love that has tied you like goat to palm tree?" But Obinna, proud and smiling, raised Ajuju's hand and said boldly, "This is my queen. If you faint, faint well. When you wake up, you will still find us married." Ajuju smirked, her giant lips curving into the widest grin ever. Her bulging eyes sparkled like lanterns, and she said, "I told you people, I am ugly but unforgettable." The drummers drummed harder, palm wine spilled everywhere, and despite the fainting, shouting, and confusion, one truth stood tall that day. Love had chosen Ajuju. And from then on, whenever villagers gossiped, they didn't say, "Who will marry Ajuju?" anymore. Instead, they shook their heads and said, If Ajuju can marry a fine city boy, then there is hope for everybody." From that day, the people of Umudim stopped calling her ugly but dangerous. Instead, they began to say, "She is Ajuju, the woman whose character married her a prince." And Obinna, he often joked, "Her eyes see tomorrow before it comes. That's why she saw me before anyone else did." Together, they lived happily, proving to the whole village that true love isn't about the shape of the nose or the size of the lips. It is about the beauty of the heart.
If you enjoyed this video, don't just stop here. Hit that notification bell so you never miss any of our new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Your love and your support means the world to me. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Stay tuned, more exciting videos are coming your way. Much love always.